painting a false picture, and that the archangel told them that how can anyone go right in such a world? Yeah, so they're deceiving a lot of people. And I used to wonder, how is Allah going to feel hellfire? And I knew what hell was because it was described to me. Fire enough. I didn't need the details. The people are going to be burned in new skins, and so they can be burned continuously. I said, who is Allah going to put in that fire? But I don't feel that way though. I know Allah has some people in that fire right now.
That's right.
They're in that fire. They put themselves in that fire. Not Allah. It was them who put themselves in that fire. It's amazing how they do that. My wife and I, she's usually by my side when we see these attacks. And I said, well, a person can accuse me of anything. I've never been a person that could be provoked. Nobody ever provoked. If you ever see me getting excited, I provoke myself intentionally to make a point. But you're not going to you can't control my physical behavior. I've always been in control. I wouldn't have made it through my father's house if I wasn't. I can control this person. So when you see these hypocrites among us attacking us, this is a scheme and a strategy to paint a false picture. They don't care what the reality is. They're going to tell that lie, and they got enough of them they believe to support them that they believe whatever reality they want to bring in, that's the reality. But Allah has shown them different over the past 7 years. Yes, sir. Everything that they throw up against us, they fail miserably, and Allah is punishing them. And in their own homes and in their private lives, they can probably barely stand to live with themselves.
Yeah.
So the most I could do, I don't waste no time making du'as for them, but the most I can do is feel bad for them and pray Allah have mercy on them, and that they change their hearts. But most of them over the years, they haven't changed their hearts. They're just not coming out forward. They hear what was in their heart. They hear what was in their heart before. And it's a shame that we had a newspaper, and we had a group of imams that lie and say they're students of Imam Mohammed. They say that they're the community of Imam Mohammed. They wanted to be form a group when he first passed, a consortium of Imam Mohammed.
That's right.
This is all hypocrisy. What we're witnessing is the corruption at its worst in the life of the people in the religious community. We're a charity. Who attacks a charity? That's the lowest of the low. We're not in the lowest of the low. So I still keep my position. I don't feel there's any need for us to go on the attack, but what I refuse to do is to give them undue attention, no matter how aggressive they are. If we have to, last year they made a big fuss at our convention about us. So we can spread the word. We should let them know ahead of time. They created a false conflict between me and some of the other people. These people are my seniors. I don't have close relationships with seniors in our community. I respect them as adults, people of authority in my community, but not as people that I have some authority over, and they know that. So the false conflicts that they create, we're not going to tolerate that during this convention. And when we see them, and if we identify them, and most of the security with us can identify them, we're going to question them as to why they're there and what their purpose is there.
Yes. That's right. That's right.
And we're going to ask them beforehand not to waste their money and make the trip here.
Right.
Yeah. That's a personal request of mine. We have to put it in the Muslim Journal. They'll put something like that in there because they love it. They say the Muslim. I call it the Muslim tablet.
Right. That's
Yeah. So I'm take up no more of your time.
No, that's your time, bro. Is it still recording, or is it?
No, it hasn't started yet. When you're ready.
Okay. I'll go ahead. Let me move this. So you gave me a good introduction.
Yes, sir.
Now wait a minute. What room to?
There.
Here it is now.
I think it's recorded. It says recording. Is it recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. With the name of Allah, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. I testify that there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger. I'd like to thank the Mosqueers for the opportunity to be able to present a presentation in regards to the theme, researching our faith for the implementation of leadership. And it's an excellent, excellent title. I remember at one of the programs at Government State University where my wife teaches, and she's head of the faculty there. I mean, she represents all the faculty at Government State University. Her time is up after 4-year term. I remember the president of the university made a statement, and I listened to her whole conversation. She spoke for me about 15, 20 minutes, but out of that whole conversation, the head of the university, I took one quote from her. Now, she said a whole lot of other things, but this one quote that stood out. It says, "Vision without strategy is fantasy." And later on, I transformed it into my language. All it is an expression of it. An idea without a plan is fantasy. And Imam W. Mohammed says, knowledge structures life. Where there is no structured knowledge, there is no structured life. Then also Imam Mohammed said, words make people. People are a product of words. And a word is anything that brings a message to your mind. And so with that, we're surrounded by words. We're surrounded by words. We got over 4 billion people on this planet. It was mentioned, over 4 billion people on this planet. Can you imagine? All of them have seen a bird. But only a very few could look at that bird, come up with a picture, then make a blueprint, then go get the material and make a 747 airplane. Very, very few. We're surrounded by all these things. And so, you know, a lot of times people come up and say, I got an idea. Well, okay, idea. They will flood you with ideas. The Imam gave the analogy of the fig in the Holy Quran in dealing with knowledge. You know, he did quite a few tafsir on that chapter at Deen. He did one with societal development, then he did it with knowledge development. And the one aspect of it was with the fig, it has many, many, many seeds, and is representative of people who come up with many, many ideas. That's all they got is ideas. And then it moves from the fig, and then it goes to the olive, and the olive has a seed, one seed. So it represents that these ideas have now been formulated, that it has become practical, and you can use it. It's focused. And so, you know, we've seen people come up with, say, I got an idea. That's all. I've seen people come up and they had about 10 ideas. Okay, what's your plan? They want you to come up with the plan. So, you know, another example of that is that in regards to a word. If I say that, you know, I see a mountain, or this, a mountain out there, a big giant mountain, and I say, I'm going to move that mountain. And a person will look at you and say, man, you must be crazy. You know, you're only, well, I'm 160 pounds now. He said, you're going to move that mountain? But if I think and I concentrate, and I come up with a design, and I materialize it physically, and come up with a bulldozer, then I move that mountain with a bulldozer? Yes, Allahu Akbar. Words make people. and the researching our faith for the implementation of leadership. We're in the 40th year of Imam Deen Mohammed leadership. 40 years. And that 4 is very important. In esoterical terms, it says that the creation is made of 4 elements. What is those 4 elements? Earth, air, water, and fire. So with those 4 elements, you can see an example of it. On the dollar, you see a pyramid. It has 4 corners, but it shows only 3 sides. Then it shows at the top of it a little small pyramid with an eye. And so they use that in esoterical language to show that the whole creation is made of those things. And if you, from those 4 elements, there's 3 things that's within you that you can use, and it leads you up to vision. And then the thing is that the pyramid at the bottom is big, right? But you got that little itty bitty pyramid at the top with the eye. You know what that one aspect it represents? Hikmah, wisdom. It means that you got all this knowledge, big knowledge. But with the hikmah and the wisdom, it's got more value than that big part, and it gives you vision. So you see that Imam Mohammed, he gave the example of the 5-pointed star. If you look at it, it shows you 5 senses with vision. It evolves in vision. I'm not going to go deep into it because I have a lot of paper here. So for the 5-pointed star, then the 6-pointed star. And Deen Mohammed, when in 2008, I heard the 8-pointed star so many times from him, and the application of it. And then when the president, representatives told him, as he mentioned it, he said, when you come into the Oval Office and you look up to the ceiling, you'll see an 8-pointed star. And you know what? That was prophecy. He went to the White House a long way from. And so, I want to start out with some readings from the Quran. And first, it says, before let me do that. We came, most of us, and my daughter's here. I think she was born in the Nation of Islam. Is that correct? Very young. Born in the Nation of Islam. Most of us came from the Nation of Islam. And that was a exercise in an attempt to come into an independent vision. Because before that, we did not have any independent vision. The vision that we had, the eyes that we were looking through, was the eyes of white supremacy, in which they taught, that's the problem right there, in which they taught, yeah, that's what it is, it was on. Oh, I got that. Yeah, it was on, it shouldn't have been on. And so we're seeing things, our whole projection, our perception was through the eyes of white supremacy. And the way that they did it, it taught that really the white man was God, and that we were inferior, that we were black, and we were cursed, and we were rejected. We didn't count for nothing. They treated us worse than their own animals. They said the dog was his best friend. We had no friend. And they would lynch and beat and whip us. And when they would lynch and beat and whip us, it was so bad and so often, and we hollering and screaming that the dogs and the cows cried because of the lynching that was done to us. And that part was bad, but the part that worse is that
whenever I hear that, what hurts me worse, being a father myself, is that some of us were their own flesh and blood. That some of us.
That's right.
How can you condemn your children, your own flesh and blood? as I know of men that have children, illegitimate children that have had wives, and they will secretly take care of that illegitimate child. I've heard stories about them secretly illegitimate, taking care of them. But the majority of us wound up behind plows and beat that and sold like the common slave. And that's a horrible thing.
That's a very good point.
And you wonder why our sisters don't want to marry.
Yeah.
They still live with that. You take my child and put him behind beat him and torture him, murder him.
So we, myself, my wife, she encouraged me to go out and listen to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaching, and I swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. I believed that the black man was God, and the white man was the devil. Because you know, you look at the history. I'm a man of history. History justified it, and it looked like it never was going to change. And so, the white man was God, and he taught that the black man was God, and the white man was the devil. That was a lot better than seeing the white man being God and you being the devil. Because you look up the definition of black, it's evil and so forth. And so, so I believed in the mothership. I think I was trying to catch it one day, get on board. I believed it. But it was an opportunity for us to come together collectively as a group and feel that we were united as brothers and sisters for one common cause. And we believed that it was because of God. And you know, the biggest strength out of all that was our Savior at that time. Farad Muhammad was not my Savior. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was our Savior. And we thought he would never die. Thought he never would die. And so the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, so we started seeing things through his eyes. Because when we taught, I was a assistant minister in the Nation of Islam. And I would say that the black man is God and the white man is the devil. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said this, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that. I swallowed it, hook, line, and sinker. And so when Imam W.D. Muhammad came in 1975, I did not know him at all. I did hear that he taught from one of the ministers went to his class, that he taught about the pyramids, and he said how the pyramids is situated in such a way that it's sort of connected with the universe or something like that. That you know, like the rays could come in there or something like that. But it was so profound, and everybody was saying. But that's all I knew about him. But you know how I became a follower of Imam W.D. Muhammad? There was an individual. He was equivalent to a captain. And so when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had passed, and we were sitting in a room, and everybody head down and said, what we going to do? What we going to do? So somebody called on the telephone and asked him the same question. And he said that he said W.D. Muhammad is going to be the leader. I heard that. And then he gave the analogy. He said that Farad Muhammad predicted that he was going to, Sister Clara Muhammad was going to have a son. And to name him after him. And they wrote his name on the wall. And so that's why he's going to be the leader. When I heard that, I accepted Imam W.D. Muhammad, not even hearing him or seeing him. Just from that history. Now, that history was there. You know, Imam W.D. Muhammad in one of his lectures, he said, the community knew it. But about 10 years before the Honorable Elijah Muhammad passed, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad stopped teaching it. And the reason that he stopped teaching that Imam W.D. Muhammad was going to be the leader was that they would have killed Imam W.D. Muhammad, and it will kill the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's what he said. Allahu Akbar. So we believed in black men being God, and we had the Holy Quran. I taught Bible. The only thing I knew about the Bible is that when I came into the Nation of Islam, I studied the Bible. So my point of view of the Bible was not from what I heard from the church, because I didn't go to church. My point of view of the Bible was what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught. And you could see that it was that Bible was a book, a revolutionary book. That if you read it right, that when they said that a rich man would not make it into a heaven unless a camel go through the eye of a needle or something like that.
Yeah, that's it.
And we said that, and that's the white man. I mean, it hit home. Imam Mohammed mentions, he said, there's individuals that got words that's just like you take a pistol and you shoot somebody. That pistol penetrates in the core of their being and shocks the system. He said there's people who, when they speak, they have that penetrating word that go right to the core of your being. So we have examples of that. Frederick Douglass. He says, you call yourself a Christian, but you act just like a savage. Penetrating word. Then, I think it was Silver or whatever her name was. She said, you look so much like God in the face, but you act so much like the devil. Penetrating word. And then the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, that the white man is the devil. Penetrating word. And you know, as the TV started focusing on the Nation of Islam, and it started reverberating around the world, it took effect. It took effect. And one of the names of the Holy Quran is El-Balag, which means the penetrating word. It penetrates to the soul, your very soul. It penetrates to your mind. It penetrates to every aspect of your body. So when we talk about researching our faith for implementation of leadership, I got one aspect right here. This is right in the Quran. It's in the Quran. And we were believing that the black man is God. It says, وَمَنْ يَقُلُ مِنْهُمْ إِنِّي إِلَهٌ مِنْ دُونِهِ فَذَلِكَ نَجْزِيهِ جَهَنَّمَ كَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الظَّالِمِينَ. If any of them should say, I am God, besides him, such a one should be rewarded with hell. Right. Thus do we reward those who do wrong. Didn't we believe that? Didn't we say we were God? That's right. And what were we supposed to be rewarded with? Hell. Right here in the Holy Quran, right here, right? Allahu Akbar. There's another verse in the Quran. It says, الَّذِينَ يَتَّبِعُونَ رَسُولَ النَّبِيِّ الْأُمِّيَّ الَّذِي يجدونه مكتوبا عندهم في التوراة والإنجيل يأمرهم بالمعروف وينهاهم عن المنكر ويحل لهم الطيبات ويحرم عليهم الخبيث ويدعو عنهم إسرافهم وأغلال التي كانت عليهم فالذين آمنوا به وأزروه ونصروه واتبعوا I can't read my own handwriting. واتبعوا نورا الذي أنزل معه أولئك هم المفلحون. I'm not going to impress you with a whole lot of Arabic, but I just wanted to just read this in Arabic. And there's a couple more verses, but it says, those who follow the messenger, the unlettered prophet, who they find mentioned in their own scriptures, in the law and the gospel. For he commands them what is just and forbids them what is evil. He allows them as lawful what is good and pure,